Each year, around this time of the year, January, millions of people around the world sit down to create their New Year's resolutions. According to a research done in America by an organization called Inside Out Mastery, 38.5% of adult Americans set out their New Year's resolutions at the start of every year. By the time they are getting to the end of the year, only 9% will have attained their New Year's resolutions. You may have set your own New Year's resolutions in the past. Did you achieve them? Why do people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions? This is what I want to look at in today's video. But before I get started, I would like to say Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. In today's video, I also want to share with you some of my personal New Year's resolutions for the year. And I would also like to thank many of you subscribers that subscribed during December while I was away. The numbers of subscribers kept going up, and we are almost getting to 2,000 subscribers. This is a huge milestone. So thank you so much to you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe today by clicking the subscribe button. It's at the bottom, it's down here. Click subscribe. What is a New Year's resolution? I like to define a New Year's resolution as a resolve made by somebody to achieve a specific goal or a target in a particular year. So in this case, 2023, people are sitting down right now to set goals or targets that they would like to achieve in this particular year. That is a New Year's resolution. Common resolutions that people set include save more money, become more healthy, maybe through exercise, read more books, spend more time with the family, and other resolutions such as build a house and many more. So setting New Year's resolution is a brilliant idea, right? Especially at the start of the year. The beginning of the year gives us this fresh start, this new beginning kind of feeling that puts us into this mood of sitting down and planning for the year, setting these big goals that we would want to achieve in the year. So it's a brilliant idea for you to actually sit down and reflect and set goals that you would want to achieve in the year. But why do people fail to attain their New Year's resolutions? Well, from what I see, or from my experience, I think there are two major reasons why people find it difficult to continue, working at their New Year's resolutions. And the first one is, setting New Year's resolutions without linking them to specific life goals. In order for you to increase your chances of achieving your New Year's resolutions, you should not set them just on their own. You need to link your New Year's resolutions to your life goals. I would therefore like to introduce you to a new way of looking at your New Year's resolutions. First off, don't set New Year's resolutions without looking at your long-term goals. So even before you set a year's resolution, think about your longer-term goals for your life and for your family. So these goals could range from 5 years to 10 years. What goals do you have within this time frame? An example examples include, I would like to build a house by 2026. I would like to take my child to Wits University in South Africa by 2024. I would like to increase my retirement fund by 2030 because I'll be retiring in 2035 or maybe 2032. So I'd like to increase my retirement fund by 2030 to 2 million Zambian kwachas. Okay, and so think about the bigger long-term goals that you have for your life, and that is what should set you up to creating New Year's resolutions or targets. So having set these bigger life goals, you now need to break them down into annual targets. This is where the New Year's resolutions actually come from. You resolve to say, this year, in order for me to take my child to Wits University, in order for me to buy that brand new car, this is the small step that I need to take today. So that is the New Year's resolution. So break down your bigger goals into annual actions or targets that will eventually get you to that bigger goal. You cannot build a house within a year if you don't have the resources. So in order for you to build the capacity and the resources to build a house in 2026, you need to be saving a little bit every year, and that will give you enough money to build your dream house in 2026. So think of New Year's resolutions as targets that will get you to achieve your bigger goal. And in order for you to do this, I would like to introduce you to thinking of your New Year's resolutions in form of financial reports. So I would like you to look at your New Year's resolutions by considering 4 boxes. So you need to draw a box and then draw a line in the middle, as well as another one horizontally. And then look at the left side. On the left side, at the top, you are going to have your income targets, and at the bottom, you're going to have your expense targets. On the right side, you're going to have your assets targets, and below, you're going to have your liability targets. So think of your New Year's resolutions using these 4 boxes. These 4 boxes are going to make your New Year's resolutions SMART. That is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So let's start with the left side. The left side looks at your income. So in order for me to achieve my big goals, these big goals that I want to achieve in 2026, in 2030, and so forth, how much money do I need to make this year in terms of income in order for me to save towards achieving my bigger goals? So you are thinking about your revenue or your income. And go deeper when you're thinking about your revenue. So you'll have set a target to say, in order for me to build a house in 2026, this year I will need to save at least a 200,000 or a 50,000 towards building my house in 2023. And then towards my child's school fees, I will need to save maybe about 40,000. Towards buying a brand new car, I will need to save about 100,000. So when you are thinking of your income targets, don't just think about the target, also think about the amount, so it becomes measurable. So how much do I need to save this year in order for me to achieve my overall goal in 2026? All right? And then also think about by when. So of course you've got 12 months in a year, but think about how you're going to be saving that across the month. So you will have your overall income target. So add up the amount for all your goals and put that in the income box. That is your target for income. As you think about the income, also don't forget about the income that you are going to need for you to run your life, basically to live your day-to-day life. Income that you need to pay your rent, to pay for your food, for your utilities, and all these other general household management expenses. So think about income also for household needs. So you'll have ticked your income targets. Now go to your expenses. How am I going to spend this income? This is where your goals become very essential. So you remember, you need to look at fixed expenses. Things that you need to run your household, needs are fixed expenses. If you're renting a house, your rent is a fixed expense. Okay? School fees, if your child goes to a private school, are fixed expenses. Now, I also want you to include expenses that relate to your overall goals, your life goals. So if you want to buy a new car in 2024, how much of this income do you need to save? So put that as an expense, and every month or every year, you'll be contributing this amount of money towards buying this new car. Also put an expense towards building your house. Put an expense towards increasing your retirement fund. Put an expense towards taking your child to university. So you've expensed your fixed expenses, the critical essential expenses that relate to managing your household. You've also expensed expenses that relate to attaining your New Year's resolutions or your life goals. So now you are remaining with variable expenses. These are expenses that are not fixed, expenses that may not necessarily go towards the attainment of your life goals, and these are just variable expenses. So whatever the difference between your income and expenses, the fixed expense and your life goal expenses should result into, a surplus that you can utilize for variable expenses. So I'd like you to think about variable expenses in categories such as entertainment and all non-essential expenses. Put them in the box or categorize them as variable expenses because they are not essential to your livelihood or to your existence or to your attainment of your life goals. So you've sorted out the left side of your New Year's resolutions or your targets. Now, let's look at the right side. The right side is where you find your assets at the top and liabilities at the bottom. You need to consider your asset box very critically. The targets or resolutions that you are going to set on your asset or in your asset box determine how much income is going to flow through to your income box. So your asset goals might include things like increase my investment in government bonds. You see, in order for you to get revenue, let's say under your income, part of your income source is revenue from, government bonds. Okay? In order for you to get that revenue, you need to invest in the government bond, and that is an asset that you have. You can also consider your job as an asset. Other assets might include investments that you've made in property and even in your business. So when you're thinking about assets, you are thinking about things that add value or that will give you a return that will result in extra income, which is going to go towards attainment of your life goals as well as achievement of your New Year's resolutions. The other reason why New Year's resolutions fail is that people set them but don't actually set resources to achieving those New Year's resolutions. For example, you might say, I want to become more healthy, I want to increase my exercise routines, and I will need to join a gym membership. But then you don't have the cash to pay for that gym membership. So in order for you to achieve this goal of becoming more healthy by joining a gym membership, you will need to know how much it costs to go to the gym. So you would have set aside resources for your gym membership. So even as you think about New Year's resolutions, think about the resources, and the resources are going to come from the assets. So build your asset, increase your asset values in order for you to get the income that you need to attain your life goals as well as your New Year's resolutions. The final box, which is at the bottom right corner, is the liabilities. The liabilities are simply credit, debt, that finances mostly your assets. One New Year's resolution that you can set with regards to your liabilities or your debt is to improve or reduce your debt by increasing the debt repayment. The longer it takes you to repay a debt, the more expensive it becomes. Therefore, set a target to reduce your debt as much as possible. In order for you to build wealth, you cannot build wealth by incurring huge interest repayments because a loan extends beyond a specific period. The longer you have a debt, the more expensive it becomes. So consider setting a New Year's resolution that helps you to reduce the amount of debt or loans that you have. Alternatively, or inversely, you might also consider increasing your loans if you think that your loans are going to act as a leverage to invest in your assets that are then going to help you make extra income. However, I am very wary. I'm very cautious when it comes to incurring or getting a loan in Zambia because of our interest rates. And really, it's interest rates as well as the nature of the loans that are available on the market. First of all, our interest rates are ridiculous. For you to get a loan in Zambia, you will not get it at less than 29%. And on top of that, it's a variable interest rate, meaning that if you get a loan for 29%, you don't know how much it's going to cost you in the next 3 years. It might even be 35% because maybe economic factors are not so good at the moment and Bank of Zambia has revised their base rate upwards. Therefore, we had to revise our interest rate on your loan. Recently, I've heard of advertisements with regards to mortgages that are going for 16%. Ask yourself, is that a fixed interest rate or a variable interest rate? Before you make that decision to get that loan that you think is going to leverage your investment in that asset. If it's a variable interest rate, don't be surprised when a year or two from now, it comes to 29% because the financial institution has the right to revise the variable interest rates depending on the conditions that are happening in the economy. So be wary when it comes to getting the loan as a leverage to increase your investment in the asset. So this is how I need you to think about your New Year's resolutions. Think about them through these 4 windows or boxes. And if you think about this, you'll notice that these 4 boxes represent the financial statements that accountants actually prepare. So what I'm telling you basically is to prepare your personal financial statements. The left side represents your income statement, your right side represents your balance sheet. It determines your net worth. So every year your net worth should be going up. Whereas your expenses, when you look at your left side where you have your income and expense, it is your budget. It will help you to budget for your income, how you are going to make the money and how you are going to spend it so that you can work within your budget. So 2023, set New Year's resolutions through these 4 boxes. And I hope it is going to help you to achieve your 2023 New Year's resolutions. So be smart. You need to be specific. Your goals need to be measurable. They don't need to be big goals. They just need to be attainable and time bound. So you are working within a 12-month period. The other reason why people fail to attain their New Year's resolution is that they are not committed to achieving their New Year's resolutions. They get bored. They're not disciplined. So in order for you to attain your New Year's resolutions, you might have a perfect system to setting the goals. But if you're not committed, if you're not disciplined to actually get out of bed and, get to do your exercise routine, you will never attain your New Year's resolutions. So just create this habit of commitment as well as discipline and know that at the end of the day, you are going to gain the benefits by achieving your New Year's resolutions. Think about getting to December and reflecting back and seeing how you've achieved your New Year's resolutions. You are going to be so proud of yourself. And not only that, imagine increasing your asset value as well as your income and achieving, or getting a step closer to your overall life goals. That's exciting, isn't it? What are my personal New Year's resolutions? So I've set a few New Year's resolutions for my life as well as my business. So to start with my business, in 2023, I want to rebuild my team for Inside Partners Africa. So I've set out to rebuild a very strong team for my company. And I'm hoping to achieve this goal by the end of the year. So I'm going to start with one key instrumental person that is going to help me to build a very strong team for my company. The other New Year's resolution that I've set for myself is to increase my investments in government bonds as well as to dip my toes on the stock market, investments on shares or companies that are listed on the Lusaka Stock Exchange. And this goal to invest in a few shares on the Luce is specifically for educational purposes, particularly for you, my subscribers. I want us to make investing in shares on the Luce extremely practical. Which companies actually pay dividends? Because listen, if you invest on the stock market, we expect you to get annual dividends. If a company is not paying you dividends, my goodness, you need to think of other investment vehicles, okay? However, in order for us to really become much more practical with our education on investing on the stock market, I am going to dip my toes on a select few companies and I'm going to inform you during the course of the year. I also intend to develop a few of my properties this year. And finally, good news. The Ndalama Insights business show is back on Radio 4, ZNBC's Radio 4, which is 88.1 if you're in Lusaka. And it's going to be every Tuesdays, 0720 after the network news. This is a radio program that started way back in 2016. So my New Year's resolution with regards to the Ndalama Insights radio program and this YouTube channel, which will continue by the way, so you've got a double bonanza, is to ensure that we get very practical with regards to how we make money as well as how we protect our money. Remember, there are so many vouchers out there that actually want to get your money. So how do you protect your money from these vouchers? So I'm going to be looking at that as well. Well, this is all I had to share in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you loved this video, please don't you forget to smash the like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. It's up here. Click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.